broadcasting from various countries around the world using voice over IP technology. This is VoIP Uncovered, a VoIPon Solutions UK podcast. I'm Kathleen Reed. Today we're excited to interview Peter Walshe from Gigaset Communications. Gigaset is one of the world's largest manufacturers of cordless phones and a clear market leader in Europe for DECT phones. Peter Walshe is the head of sales for the UK. Thanks for joining us today, Peter. So let me jump right in with the first question. Since the rebranding from Siemens Gigaset to Gigaset, how has the company found the transition, and what impact has this had?
The Gigaset brand has been a strong brand throughout Europe, and the Siemens element of the branding was part of a trade marketing agreement that we had with Siemens for 3 years. So we've had 3 years, well now 4 years, to really make a push with the Gigaset brand solely in all of our markets, but particularly in the UK. And as a result of that, we've seen very strong growth in the UK, particularly on the consumer DECT side, in the retail sector for home users, although as we know, the products are not just used by home users, but for businesses, etc. And we've seen very, very strong growth this year. It's all gone in the right direction. And in fact, this year was the first year that we've actually, according to GfK, who collect point of sales information, have stated that we're now into double-digit market share, which is putting Gigaset in the consumer space as sort of the number 3 brand throughout the UK, which is very encouraging. The Gigaset Pro brand, sort of a sub-brand of Gigaset in general, it's a relatively new brand. The Pro brand was only launched just over 12 months ago, and has been rolling out steadily across the rest of Europe. And we have seen steady growth and interest with the Pro brand as well. But overall, the transition has been successful, and certainly in my opinion, and we're continuing to sort of try and strengthen the brand across all of our markets, and particularly with the Gigaset Pro brand into the new B2B markets that we're now focusing on.
What industry do you find the range of Gigaset IP phones and wireless IP phones to be most popular?
Okay, well, I guess our strongest market in the UK has been the service provider sector. So our products are very popular, very easy to deploy. The range of handsets that go with the bases, and of course the range of products that it's difficult to say, I suppose, because the wider, with the new extended range and particularly the Pro branded products, because they're relatively new in the market, it's difficult to say across which outside of the service provider sector which particular markets the products are most popular in. However, we have seen very strong interest on the retail sector, where retail organisations have been deploying cordless in their stores to link into their corporate IP telephony networks, and then using the larger scale multi-cell solution, the N720, for sort of larger office environments and sort of warehousing and distribution centres. So we're seeing a strong demand in that particular sector for sure, and then for in the service, the small business sector and SOHO is very popular. I guess cordless telephony in general is widely accepted within the home, with the growth of teleworking, home working, and small businesses based at home. Those type of users are now sort of adopting the IP side of it, so that they have extra choice for their telephony calling. And I guess in some respects, it's just an extension of what they've been used to from their home use that they've just adopted into the business side of things.
Okay, thanks so much for that. Now, with the other IP DECT phones in the industry, why should VoIPon's customers purchase Gigaset over other products such as the Polycom Kirk, Astra L32, L34, Panasonic wireless IP phones, RTX range, and Snom M9R DECT phones?
Okay, now that is a very good question, and I guess in some respects falls really into the core sweet spot for Gigaset. Gigaset has been built, and the Gigaset brand has been built around cordless telephony. Yes, of course, our real core business and where we generate most of our revenue as an organisation is from the consumer sector. We've had products into the market since 2005, and in fact, Gigaset were the first to introduce a sort of small business, consumer-oriented PC-off device that supported SIP and PSTN. And today, we're now into third generation of that sort of entry-level product. But with the entry-level product and mid-range, and then our N720 IP Pro multi-cell solution, we've probably got the widest breadth of product portfolio, targeting the single user up to 100 user market, which falls in line with the rest of our core direction for targeting and supporting products for the single user, small business, SME sector up to 100 users. I guess the other area is that because of our heritage and pedigree within the DEC sector, we've got great breadth and depth of experience for developing the technology, but not only developing the technology, but designing great products. So, we have a lot of experience of customers, our resellers, our service provider customers, and distributors all saying the one thing that Gigaset does really well is deliver great-looking product. And because of the wide range and breadth of handsets that are supported across the overall product range, it gives a great deal of choice for ultimately the end customer, but gives resellers lots of options for offering different products and different solutions to their customers depending upon whether it's look and feel, performance, quality, price, or a combination of all of those elements. And I think, whilst the N720 is a relatively new product as it was only launched in March and April of this year, it just is a natural extension of our portfolio range. And the software suite that sits within that product is pretty much common throughout all of our IP DEC products, even including the DX800, which is a sort of hybrid product that sits on a desk, but is still effectively an IP DEC, has the IP DEC base station built in and offers the same cordless functionality for business users as well as for, in the same element as using the higher-end solutions or the entry-level N300 IP. So I think with our core knowledge, our core experience, our great design ability for great-looking products that actually do what they're meant to do, the range of products and also price points, probably, I certainly believe that we have the best product in the market and offering for the likes of VoIPon to support for your partners and your end customers in the market, certainly for the, as I said earlier, the 1 to 100 user market.
Okay, great answer. So many of VoIPon's customers have continued to ask about the discontinued Siemens Gigaset HC450 intercom system. Does Gigaset have any plans to develop a DEC intercom system again in the near future?
That again is a good question, and it's unfortunate. The HC450, as you rightly mentioned, was a very popular product. It was just unfortunate that our partner that we worked to bring the product to market with went out of business, and we were unable to continue to source that particular product. The way that we're restructuring our business at the moment, and I'll come on to that in more detail later on, we are creating a business unit that is specifically focused towards home networks. As yet, though, it's unclear what the full product portfolio will be. So it's possible that within that business division, that business unit, that a similar type of product may come to market. Within the B2B business unit, which is responsible for the Gigaset Pro line, at this particular point in time, we don't have a SIP. Most of our products are very much SIP oriented. We don't currently have a SIP door opening system, but one of the things that we do ensure is through interoperability testing that our products do work with many other products that are in the market. So I know that for VoIPon, you do offer SIP-based door entry systems, and products like the DE700 and the DE900, which are SIP desktop phones, they're able to display real-time video onto the display of the handset, and therefore, if you've got a SIP-based door entry system, you can drive them from the desktop phone, and also be able to see, if it's a video-based product, also see who's actually at the door. So it's difficult to say at this time how the portfolio on that side will develop over time, but certainly we put a lot of effort into making sure that for manufacturers of product that are in the market today and for our distribution partners, that our products interoperate so that your partners can then offer a complete solution to the customer base.